It is 80 degrees outside, and it's the beginning of November. It's so upsetting and concerning. I've just been feeling so anxious. I'm gonna try and. Usually, when I feel anxious, like my head is spinning, like I'm thinking lots of thoughts, which I definitely am as well, but it's really more like my heart is constantly racing. That's more of like where I'm feeling it lately. I have my latte. It's decaf because I cannot handle extra caffeine today, for sure. I have a little donut. This one's pumpkin spice latte flavored, left over from when I went to the bakery a few days ago. So for this vlog, I'm gonna be focusing on reading classics. I have 3 fall-ish themed classics that I'm gonna like film as I read and periodically update my thoughts throughout the book. So the first one I have is Jane Austen by Northanger. The first one I have is Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. I just started this one. I'm only like 30 pages in, so I've really only been introduced to the main character, who is Catherine. She is a young woman who's kind of experiencing society and mingling in society for the first time. She's visiting friends and neighbors in Bath and just kind of trying to figure out society at the moment. Eventually, she will meet the Tinleys, who will take her to their like ancestral home, Northanger Abbey. I know that this book is like a parody on Gothic literature, as that was like very popular at the time that Jane Austen wrote this book. I haven't necessarily read a ton of that, so I do later want to go back and read some of those Gothic classics. But essentially, when Catherine is at Northanger Abbey, she starts kind of imagining all of these like Gothic, scary things from like the books that she's read, and so it says her imagination threatens to run away with her. This is one of the few Jane Austens that I literally know like nothing about. I've never read it before, and like I've never seen an adaptation. I have no idea where this story goes, so I feel like that's kind of exciting, to have a Jane Austen that's completely new. The next one I have is The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. This is obviously a little short story about a woman who gives birth and then like suffers from PPD, and so her husband like locks her away where she's put on like bed rest and she goes crazy. Definitely like a feminist classic piece. I've seen so many good reviews about this one. I'm excited to read more like feminist classic literature as well. And then lastly, I have Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I'm so excited for this one because apparently it's just like nothing like how we know of Frankenstein in the modern like adaptations of this story. It's really more of a meditation on like humanity and contemplating life. Very gothic, one of the first sci-fi novels. I don't know, I'm just really excited about this one. I have only women today, because why would a man be there? But I'm very excited to read some more classics. I've been in this like classic mood. I haven't read too many this year, and honestly, like I just want to be more like well-read, big-brained, and be like that cool girl who just like loves Frankenstein. It's like yellow on the inside. It's good. Since it is nice outside, I should at least take advantage and go for walks. I probably will after work today, just to kind of get out of my head a little bit. It's so sunny though. I wish it wasn't so sunny. It usually isn't in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is one of the most overcast cities in the country, but like it's been so sunny lately. But I do think it's gonna rain tomorrow. The other thing that I'm really excited about is I ordered some sample fragrances. I've been getting into like perfumes and fragrances. I have never really been into perfumes. I never really wore it regularly. But my friend recommended the replica by the fireplace. And so I bought like a little sample kit of 4 of their fragrances, and I don't know, it was so fun. I loved it. I've been loving like just putting on a scent in the morning, picking out what I want to smell like for the rest of the day. So I bought like a couple samples. Honestly, they're all like the most like popular fragrances. I feel like I have nothing unique or interesting in this package. It's all just like the most basic ones. But I'm so excited because I've never tried them, so they're all like special for me. Okay. This is so cute. Okay. So the first one is Philosophique by Diptyque. And then I have Bibliothèque by Brado. Mixed Emotions by Brado. Mojave Ghosts by Brado. I went for the Brados, I guess. Studied by Lise. Matcha 26 by Le Labo. Vetiver 46 by Le Labo. L'Eau Papier by Diptyque. Reading them out loud, so many of them are like literary themed, like Bibliothèque, Studied, Le Papier. It's like so funny of me. I don't know which one I want to try first. Maybe I'll just try L'Eau Papier since it's the only one that's like the spray. Interesting. It's very soft and a little bit woody, and it has this like, after it sat on the skin for a little bit, like a darker smell, like a more rustic smell. I feel like I tend to like a little bit more of like spiced and like wooded scents. Huh, interesting. Okay. I still have a little bit of time on my lunch break, so I might try and read a little bit more of Northanger Abbey.
A significant light, just where it was needed, gleaming black as night, cloistered in injustice, dead in the eye of time. Nobody is losing, faces merchant change, but your face remains the same. The swallows will be here by dawn, and when we're finally sober, they'll be gone. The trees will bloom and ice will melt. We'll always remember how it felt.
was supposed to rain today, but it obviously hasn't because it's so sunny out. Hopefully it will rain soon. We're officially in a drought, which is crazy because it's usually so overcast and rainy here. But I have an update for you. I've read just about half of Northanger Abbey, and I'm really liking it. It feels very classic Jane Austen. The beginning has been quite slow. We're not even at Northanger Abbey yet. Right now, it's mostly just Catherine exploring Bath with her friends and her brother and making new friends with the Tilneys. I feel like Jane Austen has captured being a teenage girl really, really well. There's a lot of very relatable moments with Catherine, especially like some where she has a bad social interaction and then she feels like her life is ending, which I definitely felt like when I was 15 a couple of times. So just the fact that that is so relatable across 200 years is crazy. And I think Jane Austen has also done a really great job at depicting female friendship. The desire to like tell your best friend everything that's going on with your life and to hear everything about them, but also feel some like jealousy towards them or have like little minor disagreements. She's captured that really well, and I've been really enjoying that part of the story. In terms of like the gothic atmosphere, there's been some discussion of that, especially as Catherine, she like loves gothic literature, so she talks about her favorite novels and themes within them, but there hasn't been too much of that. I think it'll pick up more as we go into the second half of the book and are at Northanger Abbey for real. The other theme in the story that I wasn't really expecting is Jane Austen's discussion of novels. I guess at the time, novels were seen more as like this frivolous young girl's like pastime and not a way to like learn anything or enrich your mind, really. Austen kind of comments on that and like the ridiculous of that statement and makes some like arguments as to why reading novels is a very good thing. I guess it's just interesting to see that women's hobbies have been looked down upon throughout centuries. In terms of the fragrances that I've tried so far, the first one I tried is Studied by Lise. This one was very fruity, quite sweet, maybe a bit too sweet for me. I don't know. I want to try it more. One I tried is Mojave Ghost by Brado. This one was good. It was sweeter than I thought it was going to be, but I still really liked it. I definitely want to try it more before I make a decision on it. The next one I tried is Philosykos by Diptyque. This one I loved. It's like a fig scent and it's very fruity but not very sweet, just very like fresh and unique. I think it's perfect for this summer, so I don't think I'll buy it soon and I'll wait for the summer, but I really loved this one. I'm a sucker for anything fig related. Oh, and one I don't have on me, I tried Vetiver by Le Labo, and I did not like that one at all. It is like completely musk scented, which is not really my vibe. And there was no like other notes to it. It just smelled like musk to me. And then the last one is Bibliothèque by Brito. This one I'm actually currently wearing, and I really like it. It's like a plum fruited scent, but there's like this deeper note that's like darker and a little bit heavier, and I really like that. So those are my thoughts on the ones I've tried so far. I don't know if you can tell, but I know nothing about fragrance, so I'm just kind of saying things. I think the only other thing I have to update you guys on is knitting. I'm working on my Marseille sweater right now, which was sitting in a bin half knit for like over a year now. And I'm finally getting to it. It's very oversized, which I really like. I have a lot of crop sweaters and I've started making a lot of like hip length sweaters, but this one is going to be like even more oversized, which I'm really excited for. I want some like bigger sweaters in order to style them in a certain way, and so I'm just looking forward to having that like in my collection. In general, I'm just really, really focused on finishing the things that I have. I have so many books on my TBR and so much yarn in my stash, and it's honestly overwhelming me. I really just want to work through it so that I have the freedom to buy and read and knit whatever I want, whatever like interests me at the moment. Because right now, if I go out and buy a new book, I will just feel guilty and I won't immediately read it, and I'll read something else that's been on my shelves for longer. So I just want to like break out of that cycle, and I have a lot of great books on my shelf, and I just really want to work through those first. So that's like my main mantra for the rest of the year going forward. I am headed downtown right now, so I've got to go, and I will update you when I finish Northanger Abbey. Quick update. I finished reading Northanger Abbey. The kind of antics in the second half were very cute and fun. Jane Austen is like the queen of miscommunication. She is always having her love interests and side love interests just be led astray by other people and just completely misinterpret each other's actions. So that was classic and in there. But I really liked it. I wouldn't recommend it for your first Jane Austen though. I think there's not enough plot to it. I really think you would like it more if you've already read some of her work. That is my update on that. I've started reading The Yellow Wallpaper, and I will let you know my thoughts as I finish it. And then I looked at the clock that's right by my TV, and it's 7. I have a little update for you. I finished reading The Yellow Wallpaper. That story is so short. It's shorter than I thought it was. My edition is literally only 30 pages. And I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't like it as much, is because like I didn't feel like there was enough to the story. I wanted more to really understand better, as the main character is describing her unhappiness with the situation. She's being forced to stay in the countryside and to rest because of her like nervousness condition. None of her doctors are listening to her. Her husband isn't listening to her. And she feels like trapped in this room that they're staying in, which has an ugly yellow wallpaper. And she starts like imagining things within the wallpaper and kind of losing her mind a little bit. It was well written, and I understand there's a wider context to the story of why it's more of like a groundbreaking feminist piece of work. I just feel very neutral about it. It didn't really hit me one way or the other. I wish I liked it more. And then I picked up Frankenstein, and I'm like 70 pages in or something. It's like maybe almost halfway. I was really nervous at first because I wasn't feeling it in the beginning of this story, but I'm liking it more now that I'm in it. The story doesn't start with Dr. Frankenstein. It starts with another character who meets Frankenstein, and then Frankenstein tells him his story. And so I didn't know that and was a little thrown off that that was the start. I was like, what are we doing? Who is this person? Also, the writing is quite complex, and so it took me a little while to get like into that and to jive with that so that I could read it a little bit more clearly. But now I am, and like it's good. I'm really enjoying the writing, especially towards once you get into Frankenstein's story and he starts talking about his like passion for learning and for science. It gets much more interesting. Do people recommend this book as a dark academia book? If they don't, they should be, because like the whole first part of Frankenstein's story is his like obsession with studying, gaining knowledge. The best thing that humans can do is to gain knowledge for humanity. And it's clear that like he will go to extenuating lengths in order to make a great discovery. That feels so dark academia to me, like the corruption of knowledge. What are the bounds of ethical experimentation? So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. The vibes are getting like more gothic and spooky. The scene where the creature comes to life, I was like, oh. Like it was freaky. For the fragrances, the new one that I tried was Mixed Emotions by Grado, which I really liked. It was much like heavier than all of the other scents that I tried. It still had like a sweet note to it, but it was very dark. And I also tried Mojave Ghost again, and I really liked it. I can't like describe what the scents are, but I will say I feel like it's a very good blend of like sweet and dark without being like heavy. It's still very light. I'm knitting my Marseille sweater. I'm getting close, which is exciting. I finished one sleeve, so I just have the other sleeve, the cuff on the bottom, and then the collar. So not like too much. It should be pretty quick. I had to redo the cuff on the sleeve because when I did it originally, it like shrank a lot. So I had to go back and add stitches in. and re-knit it because I didn't want it to like slope in a lot. I wanted it to like be almost as thick as the like rest of the sleeve. It still comes in a little bit, but it's not so bad. I finished reading Frankenstein last night and oh my god, I absolutely loved it. I read over half of the book in one day because I could not put it down. I was so invested in the story and like enthralled with like where it was going to go. Every time I thought I was gonna take a break, I was just like, oh my god, I have to keep reading. What? The writing is so good. It's spectacular, just absolutely phenomenal. I can't believe Mary Shelley wrote this when she was 18. Like, iconic, honestly. This book was so dramatic. Like, all of the things that were happening were so like intense, and the characters were really intense, and like their misery and anguish was like very visceral, and you could feel how like in depth it was. You could just like feel every moment of this story. I'm completely blown away. Totally a new favorite from mine. I like didn't even annotate it or underline anything because like I didn't want to take the time to go through and underline things. I just wanted to like keep going. And I feel like it's crazy when a classic can make you feel like that. So I'm so excited. I love it when I find a book that I adore. The gothic setting was so well done. Like, it was so eerie. I was freaked out at times. It led this like cool and creepy and dark atmosphere throughout the whole book. Just so incredible. Cannot state enough how much I think you should read this book. For the fragrances, the last one that I had to try was Te Matcha by Le Labo, and this was the best one by far. I loved the scent of it. I actually am so surprised I put off trying it because I was like, it's gonna be grassy and matcha and like not my vibe, and it was actually so good. It was like sweet but fresh while also having this like depth. I think that's my problem with like fresh and like clean sweet scents, is that I feel like they're super basic, but this one felt like totally unique but like very, very pleasant. I absolutely have to get a bottle of it. So just really great. Really great time. Perfect way to end this vlog. Thank you so much for watching this. I really appreciate it. I think for my next vlog I'm going to focus on one book, and I'm just gonna vlog reading Crime and Punishment. That's kind of my challenge for the month of December. I'm gonna be going back to my parents' house for a good portion of December. So I'll be in New York and spend a couple days in New York City as well. So yeah, let me know if that sounds interesting to you, or maybe if you would like to see something else. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best reading ahead. Bye.